we didn't make a record because there was a calculated move. Like we just felt it. We just said we had an amazing night. We had an amazing experience at at a very surrounded by people that we love and known for our our the better part of our whole life now. And we just left that going like maybe we should make a record. And and then it just grew in us. It was like, yeah, we got it. Now it's in my head. Now I got to make it. I got some feeling. I got some things I want to get out. I got some things I want to say at this age. And somehow it brought us full circle back to that first album, because when we made that first album, we had lived a whole life of lots of
Mm-hmm.
different things. And we made those first couple records. We were not we weren't conscious individuals until probably our third album and then our fourth album. Those first two records were just completely unconscious. We were just puking our shit. We were just going in the studio and just say, you know, just sit down with an acoustic guitar, write a song in literally in 10 15 minutes and go record it. And we did this one the same way, man. There's not 20 extra songs laying around. There might be two or three. If we weren't feeling it, we moved on. When once that feeling that tapped in for whatever that one feeling is, you know what I mean? Was like life is great, about our families, about our wives, deserve you, about our wives, I don't work here anymore, stepper, about just surviving,
Mm-hmm.
about getting up every day and just making that choice to go your direction and not fold. And that's a full circle moment, you know what I mean? To be actually get back to that point is a crazy thing to be able to like that to me is more relief. To me that was more freeing than anything, like I like it's an amazing thing to go all the way around and go, there I am. That process is easier than ever, even when we were kids, because we were figuring out how we work the best. We tried to do the thing where we record all of us playing it live in the room. We have a record where we did that on quite a few things, but it takes that takes months. And we sort of have day jobs, you know what I mean? Like, so we couldn't take months and months straight on this.
Mm-hmm.
We did it in sort of bursts of like a couple of weeks at a time. And then we also we just have our lives going on, so it was really fun.
Most of the vocals on the record are first take vocals. Benj would just call me back to fix things on a couple songs here and there.
I'm a big fan of first take vocals.
I've always approached songwriting in a simple way because I don't I and my self-esteem maybe what worked for me here because um I never looked at myself as some real singer, like some real genius singer or some genius songwriter. So I didn't feel like um I was making some fine art, you know? So um I would just start singing and the words would come and they'd start to make sense. And then I'd write a song and then I'd listen back to it and I'd start to understand what it was about.
Mhm.
And then maybe I'll go back in and fix a line on the chorus or fix a thing. I'm just like stream of consciousness, like Rejects just kind of came out. And when I was singing, like, oh, sometimes I still wish I wasn't born at all. I didn't even really think about what I was saying, but I knew I was saying, oh, sometimes I just felt good to say it, felt good to
Mhm.
sing it because it felt soothing or something. And um, and then when I went back and listened to it, and I was like, oh, this song is some deep shit about some self-esteem shit growing up when you're little and everything's, is
Mhm.
nice. And then you realize what the world really like and you realize what life is really like and um and it makes sense usually afterwards.
But that's the beauty of it. That's the real shit. Now that's all I want. Chronicles of Life and Death to Good Morning Revival. We had too many critics in our head. We had too many outside. We had too many things where we really did want to make people happy. It wasn't coming from a place of like lack of integrity or something. We really wanted to make people happy. That's not why you should make music. Like, not from that perspective. You should
Well,
make
you don't
music.
want to squander the opportunity that
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
like was
no. And when I
given to
say
you.
make people happy, I mean record label people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
radio. Like you do make you really you make music that gets something off your chest and bring and share with people who are listening, who are
Mhm.
really listening. So if you look at us and say, "Well, you can't sing that. You're rich," it's like It's like, well, okay, well, you're not really listening to me.
We're
I feel
also
like,
not hiding. We're not
Yeah,
hiding from
never.
anyone. Like I'm open. I can
Yeah,
talk to anyone. You I don't care if people like my band.
yeah.
If they want to tell me what they think, I'm here. I'll listen. To some point I'll listen. I'll meet people where they're at, and I'll talk to anyone because I'm a curious guy
Hmm.
who likes to meet people. I don't judge if they don't like something, if they do like something, if you like my band, if you don't like my band, if you don't like Good Charlotte, you probably won't like this record. If you
Sure.
like Good Charlotte, you probably will like this record.
Hmm.
Um, I'm okay with either. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'll say about the wedding. So Sophia asked me to play her wedding. She's my little sister. I've known her since she's 7. It's very important to me. And we haven't played in 5 years. So I don't know if the band is going to say yes.
Right.
We're not, they're not getting paid. It's not like there's the only incentive to do it is to hang out and to do something special. And so Good Charlotte is a democracy in the sense of like if somebody has you want to get out of a Good Charlotte gig, tell everyone you have something for your kids. We all go, cool. Not happening.
Yeah.
Because we all have like a family first thing. Like your family comes first. So everyone could have been like busy. I called everyone personally and asked, like, hey, this is a special, really meaningful thing to me. Will you fly? I don't want to phone it in. I don't want it to be a fake gig. I want it to be a real gig. So I want the whole band there and I want this to be special. And it's going to take a day rehearsal and us all just rolling our sleeves up and we haven't played in 5 years, but I want to make it great. So
Hmm.
how can we do that? The whole band said yes right away. No questions asked. And then they all did it. I was very touched by that. Um, and and so the setting was right
Hmm.
because everyone was there on their own account and they were all there with real pure intentions. So it's like a deeply meaningful thing to me, and the whole band backed me, and they all showed up, and they all put a lot of love into it, and I could feel it, and you could feel it in the show. It was a
Hmm.
fucking great show. And then afterwards we're all hanging out and we're catching up and we kind of jokingly said like, yo, let's record a record, let's go tomorrow,
Hmm.
like whatever. And everyone's like, I'd do it. And we all kind of stopped and we're like, we're actually not joking, maybe we should make a record. And then that started the conversation. We had a great night. And then when we got back and Benj came to me and goes, you serious about this record? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. And he's like, if you well, let's have a talk with the guys. We all get together, and Benj is like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it for real. So everybody's just got to think about that because it's a
Hmm.
commitment. If we're
Hmm.
gonna do it, we're gonna put it all into the record, and we're gonna go out on tour, which is what everybody is up against with kids and wives and
Sure.
shit we care about more than touring.
something about the 4 of us, though, I got to tell you, we absolutely really cherish it.
I think growing up in an environment that did not nurture us to be emotionally stable, to be secure, to be self confident, to be a lot of things, right? And this is
Hmm.
a by no fault of its own, I'll say. Like these are people that were products of their environment, and it was like generational trauma, generational addiction, generational real pain and suffering. So I think early on, we had good people who were trying to heal and they didn't know how, and we grew up in an environment that was full of pain and suffering, and all those things, addiction and trauma and all the things that are very hard to break for families. And so growing up at an early age with the view of the world that it is hard, things don't come easy, life is full of pain and suffering, and we don't know how things work. The causality of life wasn't there for us. It was more religious. So it's like we pray
Hmm.
and then maybe we'll get it. And so things were confusing, and coming out of that confusion into directly into leaving home at a young age, trying to make it with our band and then making it, you think at a young age, you think this is the answer to my problems. I'm going to get rich and famous and I'm going to get all the things that I think I need to be special, to be important, to be
Hmm.
valuable. And I think that the first chapter of Good Charlotte that the world would read, and the world would know us as, is the records 1 through 5, right?
Hmm.
But then we got off that ride, I'd say in like 2011, 2012, 13, somewhere in there, we decided like very clearly, we were like, we have to stop. We have to find a new way to live. And it wasn't that um, it was terrible. I mean, we had all our dreams had come true. It was that it didn't actually fix the problems. And then so I think me and Benj endeavored really hard and put a lot of work into personal growth and just trying to like understand what it means to be a person and live and grow and feel good about yourself. Money isn't everything, fame isn't everything, success isn't everything if I don't know what any of it means. So
Hmm.
trying to find some definition of happiness and success. For me, I found it in my marriage and with having kids and um, starting businesses with my brothers who have me and we're all very close and we love working together and working with other artists. I get a lot of joy out of that. And then I started to kind of redefine what success was. And then it's a long winding road where we're still in music, we're still in entertainment, we still want to work. But we had to redefine what that kind of meant to us, I think, over time.
It's like we went back to even Youth Authority and Generation RX, where we were in our we were still in our we were trying we were in our process. We were like, like I think, and that's why I feel like this album is the beginning of like the second act for Good Charlotte, because I feel like we went through all the stuff we went through as kids, coming out of like Joel said, generational trauma, generational poverty, generational addiction, generational all the stuff that goes back generations.
Hmm.
And we thought having success with our band would fix everything, and it doesn't. But it's a blessing. Don't get me wrong. Like, hey, we're the lifestyles of the rich and famous guys. Like, we still stand by every word of that song. Like,
Hmm.
dude, we'll take, like, just give me it. If you don't want it, I'll take it, and I will
Hmm.
take care of it. We are like, but the thing is what we found out was your self-worth and like what you actually mean to the world, right, is like not going to be found in a trophy
Or a hit song.
or a validation from somebody or a hit song. And what
Hmm.
we found was the actual values in the work.
Can we
I,
be the guys we wish we would have met when we were 18? And who is that guy? Is he what well, he's encouraging, I think he's honest. He tells you what he may have done
it gives
wrong.
you gives you the information. We don't.
Here's
It's
the
like
playbook.
like I hope artists we work with leave us to start their own companies.
We also made a lot of people a lot of money and they beat the horse until it was almost dead. And we
Yeah,
realized as we got to be men,
we're not going to survive that.
we're not going to survive that. We can't do.
But even just like as like we'll be a shell of ourselves. We won't be the same guys. Like, and I think that like, you know, anybody that could hate on us today is just looking at what they see and maybe like what they know about what they read, like what they think we are. If
Hmm.
you sit down with us, right, it's like we're the same as anybody. We're guy we have stuff we work on that we love to work on. We get up every day and we work on it. We try to show up and be good dads. We try to show up and be good friends, and that's where we found like, oh, what I get a lot of value out of personally. I realize that I've been on stage a whole bunch of times for many thousands of people, 100,000 people, 60,000 people. It never filled the okay, I'm special now, because we
Hmm.
can't, when you come into the thing with a low self-esteem and you don't think you're valuable, you don't think you're special, and you think this is going to make me feel that feeling, then you realize it's empty, it's a bottomless pit. And then if you know if at the end of it all, when we're old men, the only thing you want to talk about is that I had a hit song, it's like no one's even going to remember that shit. By that time, no one's going to remember that shit. It's going to be,
That's my
hey,
worst nightmare.
that's my worst nightmare. It's
That
gonna be like, hey, I
that's
was
That
it.
in
my music defines me when I'm an
like
old guy.
that's no, thank you, no,
No
Hmm.
thank
thanks.
you. I
No.
Hmm.
don't even put that on my headstone. Like I hope it's, I was in a situation and that guy helped me out, or like or like he shared this with me. Like that's why we started Indian. We started Indian because we had that realization of just like
Because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
is the right thing to do, to give
So
people the knowledge that'll help
we're
them make better decisions,
and it's
that'll
bad.
help
And
them.
we also have to live in a way. Everyone, I think, has to live in a way that do things that they think are badass,
Hmm.
one way or the other. And I thought at the time we felt like starting a company where we didn't do contracts, where we found people, every single artist we've worked with, we found at zero, right? And you don't gatekeep them, you don't hold them hostage, you give them information. And guess what? We've been together 10, 12 years with that one, 10 years with that one, 8 years with that one. It works because
And
people,
I will say this about MDD artists: they're subtly the
they're
smartest
fucking, they don't give a
artists in
fuck.
the room.
Hmm.
And they've been
Like,
impact. They sort of have this like they
and
sort
it's
of
not
have
because of us. Like, I actually think these are people with good instincts that can smell truth.
Hmm.
we learn from them, man. So I think that like that's a cool thing when I think that there's this subtle through line because they're all in different genres. We have like, you know, Architects and Bad Omens and Poppy and they're heavy, and we have Idris and Zeph and we have Chase Atlantic and you know all these artists that we're partners with. Like they don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
They're not looking around at like the world going, why don't I have that? Why isn't that going? They're just like, I got this idea. And we're just like, even if someone tells me an idea that I don't totally get, I'm like, fucking let's do it. Get do it.
Hmm.
Cause your swagger, I love it. Like I
Hmm.
know it's good and something that cool happens, you know? So I think we need at that time, we had this instinct that like whatever we were going to do with the rest of our lives, whether we were going to make more good Charlotte records or whether we are going to like the most important thing we could do was in the work. And now, and so it's actually brought us to this place where we are with this record where you know, it's just like we've let go of the in kind of life. It applies to everything. It's just like letting, like actually just letting go of the results. It's just like the work. It's like
Hmm.
actually doing shit that you like.
I say this to every artist: be very weary of anyone that's scaring you into a decision.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be weary, because that's the wrong way to go into a decision.
Yeah.
Decisions should feel like a joyful thing. It should feel exciting. It should feel inspired. It should feel like you know what you want to do.
I learned through the years that like the quality of life is everything. So I want to
Yeah.
be at the table after the win. If we have a win, I want to be at a table with a bunch of people that I'm really happy to be there and high fiving with.
That's
Not
fucking
going,
awesome. Yeah.
not going like, oh God, okay. Like I want to be there going like, oh my God, man, can you believe it, guys? Like, and we've had that with our band. We've had that with our band, and now we have it with our company. Like,
Yeah.
it's incredible.